about Palestine like an illegal settler does land of the West Bank. Like, if I don't take this, someone else will. I just got banned from a high school. I know, you're like, more context, please. Let me explain. I know when someone gets banned from a high school, it's usually for like showing a body part. It's not what I did, okay? I was just telling jokes. I was showing my body of work. Okay. So I got booked to perform at a high school because my career's on fire, okay? And, high school one day, Calgary the next, I'm doing things, So I got booked to perform at a high school, and before you judge, okay, this gig had dignity to it, okay? It was a nighttime event. It wasn't a daytime thing for the whole school, okay? It wasn't an assembly. I'm not a clown. It was a nighttime event. It was for the Muslim Student Association. They booked me to, or did you guys boo or did you go, woo? I wasn't sure. We are in Calgary. I got booked to perform for the MSA, and these were really nice kids who booked me, and I don't want to throw them under the bus, but I'm going to just because they told me I could talk about whatever I wanted. Don't say that to a comedian unless you mean it, especially at a high school, because my thought was, okay, it's nighttime, the bell has rung, so we can get a little loose in this high school cafeteria, Halal, of course, So I really just did my normal set. I started by making fun of the city a little bit. That's what I do. Don't take it personally, okay? This was in a city called Mountain View, okay? And they don't have a view. So that was my first joke. I was just like, where's the view? It killed. And then I roasted the whole front row, because the whole front row was valedictorians. Isn't that messed up? They put the valedictorians in the front and the lessers in the back. Yeah, very classist. Yeah. So I just roasted him. I was like, nerd. You're the next Luigi. Nerd. I was connecting, So they were warmed up. I was like, I'm gonna do some riskier jokes, I did an impression. You guys like impressions? Yeah. Okay. Here's my impression of a gay suicide bomber. Well, I thought you guys said you liked impressions. Why'd you all of a sudden pull back? Well, that's not the impression I was expecting. Well, here's my impression of a gay suicide bomber. Should I wear the jacket or the vest? Ironically, that joke never bombs. So yeah, they were warmed up at that point, So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do some political jokes for these 14-year-olds. And then so what? I did 2 jokes about Israel. Didn't know you couldn't do that at a high school. Okay? Yeah, just 2 jokes about Israel. Just 2 jokes. They were both 10 minutes long, but just 2 jokes. 80% of my set only. And the next day, an email went out to the entire school. It went out to the kids. It went out to their parents. It went out to their parents' parents. It went out to dead relatives in these kids' family. And it was directly from the principal. And it basically said, we would like to apologize for the random guy who was at our campus last night. We don't know how he got there, but he does not represent our values or our views, even though we don't have views in Mountain View. I made the last part up, but and then he went on to say, he said, this comedian's jokes, and he put jokes in quotations, so hurtful. He said, this comedian's jokes were both derogatory and anti-Semitic. Now, in his defense, he definitely had one of those right. They were definitely derogatory, okay? They were not nice. But anti-Semitic, get the out of here, dude. Get the out of here, man. Get the out of here. No. I was not saying anything about religion or an entire group of people. No, I was criticizing a government that's committing genocide. That's not anti-Semitic, you idiot. You're at a high school, read the books that you have, and you'll see that genocide is bad. Also, I am Semitic. Shut up. Shut up. When are people going to learn that Arabs are Semitic? Okay, Semitic means people who speak Semitic languages, of which Arabic is one. The term Semitic was coined in Germany. You already see where the problem started. Germans love to classify people, and so they created a term Semitic in the 1700s, and within a few years, they already needed a term anti-Semitic to describe the people who were hating on us so mad. Right? So they created a term anti-Semitic to reflect hatred towards all Semitic people, but then that term got popularized by the Nazis, not sure if you heard of them, okay, who self-identified as anti-Semitic because it made their hate sound more professional. Because people were like, you're anti-Semitic. They're like, yeah, that's me. Like, no, that's not, you don't want that. They're like, no, that's very nice, yes. And so that term spread, and the Nazis popularized it with only the interpretation of hatred towards the Jews. So they completely left Arabs out of the definition. As if you needed another reason to hate the Nazis, they completely erased Arabs from the definition of anti-Semitism. And frankly, we just wanted to be a part. You know? And I know this is all Semitic semantics. But I'm just saying, you know, if you can use the term Semitic and the term anti-Semitic means something different, like that's a mind for all the people involved. You know what I mean? You know, I was talking to this with my Jewish friend. He's like, so are you saying you don't want us to use the term anti-Semitic? I'm like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying use it, just include us. You know what I mean? Like, we just want to be a part. We're getting FOMO over here, man. Just, you know, include us. Like, let us be in, you know. In fact, anti-Semitism is just like Palestine. You're welcome to use it. Just don't kick us out. Pretend like it was never ours. You know what I mean? Like, that's literally all we're asking. Also, I know what anti-Semitism is. I'm on Twitter. If our government actually gave a shit about real anti-Semitism, they'd get off of college campuses and just log on to X, which is the source of modern-day anti-Semitism. You can talk directly to the commissioner. His name is Grok. And if that's not enough, follow Elmo's account. It's there. It's there. And as a Semitic person watching anti-Semitism, it's not about me, you know, feeling left out. At some point, you do realize that all of the anti-Semitic stereotypes and tropes, and you guys know because you're in Alberta, all the anti-Semitic stereotypes and tropes really can be said about Arab people. We just don't get credit like that. And I think that's messed up. And I know I'm the only one who's going to die on this hill. Okay? But I'm willing to say it. I'm willing to say it. Okay, guys, safe space. Let's be honest. Okay? Those stereotypes are about us too. Okay? Yes, let's be honest. What is the most common anti-Semitic stereotype and trope? Don't say it out loud. What is the most common anti-Semitic stereotype and trope? It's that, I said don't say it out loud. Someone get your auntie over here. Wow, jeez. No, it's that Jews are good with money and business. Habibi, are you kidding me right now? Are you serious? We are so good at business. After every halal cart cleaning up in New York City, that's how Zoran's gonna win. We are good at business, okay? There's hummus in every grocery store. We are good at business, Habibi. Arabs are good at business. Arabs and Jews are both good at business. If Arabs and Jews start a business together, we could take over the... Okay, listen. We are good at business, okay? You know, every sane person knows that stereotypes are just stereotypes, okay? You know, we know that it's racist people who push these things like, oh, the Jews control the weather. There's no evidence of that, okay? However, in Saudi Arabia, they are seeding rain clouds right now. Why are we not getting credit for controlling the actual weather? We are literally making it rain in the desert right now. Right over the Riyadh Comedy Festival. I wasn't invited. The one that hurts the most, the stereotype that hurts the most, is the one about big noses, okay? Like, how do we get left out of that? How the fuck do we get left out of that? Arabs have huge noses. If you knows, you knows. Some of you people don't want to laugh at this, I can tell. You're like, this is too on the nose for me. What I'm saying is, I know what anti-Semitism is and I know what it's not. And I was not doing anti-Semitism at that high school that night. I was simply telling genocide jokes for kids. So somebody has to. Somebody has to. And the principal called me anti-Semitic, and then they published it in the local newspaper, the Mountain View Bee or whatever. They all called me anti-Semite, and the messed up part, the principal wasn't even at the show. Yeah, because somebody asked him, like, what were the jokes that the comedian told that were anti-Semitic? He's like, oh, I wasn't even there, I don't even know. Oh, wow, great evidence, Cash. So I was like, I was just anti-Semitic just for showing up, So I had to look into it. Sometimes you gotta be your own private detective, okay? And I found out that the kids, they posted my face on a flyer. I asked them not to, but they posted my face all around the city of Mountain View, the city of no views, okay? So a bunch of viewless people saw the flyer, and then I think somebody saw it and they're like, oh, let's go to that show to stir some things up, because people do come to my shows sometimes to do that, to stir things up, and you've probably seen videos of it. And this was just like a very mild case of it. Somebody came to my show and told on me to the principal. Like, that's basically, yeah. Ain't that a bitch? I got snitched on at a school I didn't go to. So basically, I was targeted. Okay? It was not anti-Semitism, it was anti-Sammy-tism. Yeah, which is a very specific kind of anti-Semitism. It's a subset of anti-Semitism. I got nothing to lose. I have the whole set recorded on my phone still. I'm gonna edit it at my mom's house later. Do you guys want to hear the jokes? Yeah, you want to hear it? You want to hear the jokes? All right. So here's the first joke. Israel loves to claim that it's the only democracy in the Middle East, which is kind of offensive to other Middle Eastern countries that can vote, like Turkey or Lebanon or Syria sometimes, But Israel loves to champion itself as being the home of women's rights in the Middle East, right? Yeah. And I love women's rights. I know my face looks like I love Sharia law, okay? But I love women's rights more than I love Sharia law, okay? Yeah, I'm progressive like that, okay? I looked it up, I Googled it, and the first thing that I noticed was that abortion is not a right in Israel, okay? Now, nor is it in Texas or Florida or Alabama or Kentucky, okay? But none of these places are claiming to be the home of women's rights in the United States, because we know who we are, Alberta too, you guys, it's kind of on the, okay? You guys, seems like you guys don't know. Get one while you can. And listen, I know that for some people, especially in Alberta, okay, abortion might be a controversial issue, but I'm just saying, if you claim to be the place of women's rights, just have the fucking rights, man, okay? But the truth is, if you're a woman in Israel and you want to get an abortion, you have to first get approval from the high court, not the low court, but the high court, okay? And this can take weeks and often months. Now, I don't know how much you know about abortion, but it's kind of a time-sensitive issue. And so clearly, this is by design. They do this to discourage women from getting abortion, and I think that's f***ed up. I think that's up. If you're a woman in Israel and you want to get an abortion, sometimes you just can't. Sometimes it's just quicker and easier to join the IDF if you want to kill a baby. Okay. Yes, I said that joke at a high school. Okay. I felt it was the right thing to do. Okay. I used to be a teacher before I was fired. I have a connection with academia. Okay. And the kids loved it, by the way. They stood up, they clapped, they cheered. They laughed a little too hard, to be honest. I didn't appreciate how hard they laughed. I was not comfortable with that. But it crushed, man. It was an auditorium of like 500 kids. It crushed. I was the IDF that day. Okay. You get it. The UN gets it, finally. Bernie Sanders gets it, finally. Okay. That was just the first joke, okay? That was the milder one. The next joke is a bit more controversial, but I would say more relatable, okay? The next joke is about a world leader. Now, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to get sued for defamation. So let's just say this guy uses Gmail because he's not on Yahoo. Okay. It's Benjamin Netanyahu, guys. I just want to make sure you... Okay, just want to make sure. There was people looking like, who uses Yahoo Mail in 2025? It's Benjamin Netanyahu, guys. I won't get in trouble for saying his name anyways. It's not his real name, so... It's Milikowski. So, Benjamin Milikowski, a.k.a. Netanyahu. I start this joke by asking the crowd, are there any fans of Netanyahu here? Okay, that's a typical response. Usually more booze, but it's too late. It's too late. You guys showed your true colors, Alberta. Got my eye on you here. Now I get why the boo. I heard the boo earlier at MSA. But yeah, I asked this joke everywhere, and nobody says yes. This guy doesn't have fans. It's kind of sad. And I don't just perform for pro-Palestine crowds. I perform for everybody. I do Zionist crowds. I've been to Florida. I've been everywhere. And not one fan of the Netanyahu. I think we're at the point where we can all agree most of the world knows that Benjamin Netanyahu is an evil man. Okay? I think we're at the point where most of the world will agree that Benjamin Netanyahu should not be in power. Okay? Even his own people feel this way. People in Israel have been trying to vote him out. They've been having corruption trials to get him out. There's political parties shifting around to get him out. There's coups to try to get him out. There's assassination attempts to get him out. But you can't get rid of this guy. He's just there. And sometimes, in situations like these, when you can't remove someone democratically, not saying, well, you know what that's like, Canada, okay? But sometimes, when you can't remove someone democratically, sometimes the higher power, or whatever you believe in, perhaps karma, might have an alternate plan, okay? Now, don't get mad at me for just relaying the news, but if you weren't entirely aware, Benjamin Netanyahu has cancer. I'm not asking you to get excited. I'm not asking you to get excited, okay? But I'm also not asking you to get sad. I'm asking you to remain completely neutral to this piece of factual information that Netanyahu has prostate cancer. Okay, which is, you guys keep wanting to get excited. Yeah, prostate cancer, which is kind of inherently funny in a way, but now, so does Joe Biden. Joe Biden has it too, but we'll do a joke about that at another time, okay? I already wrote a joke about Joe Biden having prostate cancer, but he forgot it. But But you got to admit, kind of ironic, the two main people associated with the genocide now have prostate cancer. Turns out what goes around comes around up your ass. Okay? Come on, up your ass. And around the corner, you know? It's where the prostate is. But yeah. Now, some sources will say it's just a benign tumor of the prostate, okay? But we all know that cancer is cancer. Cancer can grow at any time. It multiplies. Cancer essentially is the ultimate colonizer. You know, it grows, builds checkpoints so the cells can't cross. You know, and eventually its goal is to turn your body into greater cancer. You know. Okay. This is not a political joke. It's just medical science. Don't get mad at me unless you're a doctor. Okay? And I just find this very ironic. I find this so ironic. I find it perfectly ironic that Benjamin Netanyahu has prostate cancer. Because if you're familiar with Netanyahu, you would know that he is the one person in history who's had the most opportunities to free Palestine. He is literally the one unique person in that specific position of power for the longest amount of time who's been presented with time after time after time the most opportunities to facilitate the creation of a Palestinian state. But at every opportunity he had, he shut it down. Because in his mind, he never wanted there to be a Palestinian state. And he used to not say it, but he finally says it now. But we've known it all along, because every time he had the option, he pushed it away, he made it difficult. He tried to make it damn near impossible for there to ever be a Palestinian state. So can we not at least just observe the irony here? That because this man was not pro-state, that he now has cancer in his prostate. You can't make these things up. And they removed his prostate. He's a no-stater now. He got a no-state solution inside him. Okay, that was just the first part of the joke. That was the less controversial part. The next part is more controversial because I'm going to say something that's going to piss a lot of people off. But I'm going to say it because I mean it. And that is that I want to be a better person. Thank you for laughing at that, but I do. I want to be a better person. And no matter how much I hate someone or despise them for their actions, I don't want to be the one to wish sickness or death upon them. That's not who I am. And that's not who I want to be. These are my values. I did not learn them in America. So in tune with my own personal growth, not cancer, but my spiritual growth, I'm going to say something that's going to be very hard for you to hear, just as it's hard for me to say. But I have to say it as a part of my 12-step program. And that is that I want Netanyahu to get well. I said it. Not Joe Biden, I'll give you that. But Netanyahu, yes, I said it. I said it because I don't want to sink to his level. Just because he's evil, I don't want it to make me evil. Now, I understand I'm going to lose fans over this. People are going to be so upset once this information goes public, but I'm letting you guys know because you're good people and you deserve to know the truth. And Netanyahu right now, they removed his prostate. They say he's in a stable condition, but we all know that cancer can come back. It's the ultimate colonizer. Tends to violate agreements, etc., etc. And so I'm just letting you know that if that cancer does come back, I'm going to be the first person to lead by example, stand up and say, we need to stop it. Yep, yeah. And I don't care if we have to go inside him. Then we will go deep inside him. Just get in there and just bomb the cancer. Just bomb the cancer to oblivion. Carpet bomb the cancer. Go inside of his colon, in the tunnels of his colon. Bomb the cancer. Oh no, Hamas! Bomb the cancer. From the prostate to the pee, he will be cancer-free. You understand me? Gotta go deep in there, get that colonizer, you know what I'm saying? Now, of course, after this very intense operation, this intense military surgical operation, his colon will look like a demolition site. And at that point, Trump can occupy it. So. Yes, I said that in a high school. Who cares, man? The kids gotta learn. You're like, but Sammy, this was at a Ramadan iftar event. Okay. My bad. I can make better decisions. That's between me and Allah, okay? It's not between me and you. It's not your jurisdiction. But what I'm saying is, I don't do high schools anymore. But if you need someone for pre-K through 6, I got you, dude. I got you. I love you, Calgary. I hope to see you next year. Thank you so much.
I have to tell you, I'm alive.
The CDC did not approve of this show. Not the best joke to open with. But the CDC does list forms of transmission on their website, and one of them is laughter. Yeah, right? They're like, don't you have any fun now? Because you will spread the kill vibe. It's hard to remember a very generic name. People get mad. You meet them, forget their name. Dude, you don't remember that I was Dave? I'm so sorry. You're like the 1000th Dave I've met. They're like, what are you supposed to say? Like, I'm sorry that brain space is finite. And if you don't know what that means, it's because brain space is finite. It's hard to remember people's names. Zoom, man. Zoom. All right, every time a loud motorcycle comes by, let's just guess the size of the penis. Let's just guess. I'm guessing 3.8. Oh, dude! Yes! 314-159-2653. I'm back. I've been here, I've been home, I've been at the store. I just been going to the store. Right? You know what I'm talking about. You been to the store, that's cracking, dude. People are buying food like they're about to die. People are buying all the food, man. Remember when toilet paper was gone, then it came back? That was dope. It came back. I thought it was gone. And when it came back, I was like, stand-up's coming back too, man. Stand-up is on its way. It's just another era in the store. Whole Foods, they play little PSAs between the musics. Like the music will be playing, and they'll stop the music, and they're like, please keep a safe 6 feet away from each person in the store, and then back to the music. Kiss, 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 kiss! Back to the PSA, and make sure you're wearing a mask and not in other people's personals. Eat the booty like groceries, eat the booty like groceries. Like, why is that in Whole Foods? That's more of a Trader Joe's song. Is there anything that you would like me to speak about? Interracial couples. Fuck yeah, let's fucking go, boy. He's like, yeah, me and you later. What? You guys interracial? That would be really weird if you're not. Talk about the thing that we're not doing, huh? Because we're keeping it pure over here. Yeah, are you kind of interracial?
You're interracial, okay? Nice. Can you tell me what the races are? Romanian and Indian. So you're Romanian, she's Indian. That was a joke based on these. I know Kendra was like, should we laugh at that? He clearly looks Indian, but he could be Romanian. Make some noise if you are in an interracial relationship. All right, good. We're just keeping shit nice and purebred out here in Corona. Wow. I thought you guys were progressive. Okay, make some noise if you're single. Okay, make some noise if you're single and you're down to fucking interracial person. That was a trick question. I was asking if you're down to fuck a mixed race person, actually. There's no such thing as an interracial person. I'm interracial. I'm between races right now. I was previously Romanian, but now I'm Indian. Good. So a lot of horny, progressive people in here. Anybody else in their interracial couples want to give me their mix? What is it? Peru and India. So basically Indian and everything. That's how we're fucking taking over, guys. Good. What else? Justin Trudeau. The great leader of this nation. Okay. I know that he's not well liked. Is there anybody who still really likes him? Yeah, come on. Yeah, no, it's good. We need some pro-establishment people here. What do you like about Trudeau? And this, you're telling somebody who knows very little about Trudeau. There's a long list of things. Anything specific? Like what would you say Trudeau is like the best thing about Trudeau? He's hot, right? He's hot. And I actually saw a picture of him. He was also interracial dating as an Indian guy.
We can complain about all the problems America has, but we were founded by the worst people ever. You know, the explorers, Columbus. I don't even watch Dora. That's how bad it is. The explorers, they took land, they forced themselves on women, and then our textbooks still say, oh no, they were just looking for some spices. Oh, these gents were quite the foodies, huh? Oh, got a little sidetracked on the culinary expedition, huh? Never got to my guy friend, like, bro, you want to go to the club tonight? It's 4,000 miles away. Are there be girls there? No. Buckets of oregano, huh? We're spice hunters, bro. Yeah, right. I think spices was like code word for side chicks, yeah? Mistresses, they had to tell their old lady something, you know, like, Mario, why are you going on those boats with the boys? Spices. You know, like jasmine, rosemary, cocoa, ha. Think about it, spices are the classic side chick name. We got pepper, ginger, cinnamon. Those are stripper names. There's probably a strip club out there called the Spice Rack. I'd put my money on it. And if not, I'm gonna open one up down the street. I would love to run the Spice Rack strip club. Can you imagine me doing the marketing plan? Come on down to the Spice Rack. Tonight we got cayenne and paprika the freaka. It's the holiday season. Come see Pumpkin Pie Spice. Take off her cloves, everybody. Oh, yeah. We got white pepper. We got black pepper. We got red pepper, but she always flakes. We got coriander, who used to be known as cilantro before she got all dried up. And then we got a young mom. This mother looks so young every time the bouncer has to call her mom. Oh, Tara used to work here, but now Tara gone. But you can still find our male stripper peppercorn on Grindr. Yes, the Spice Rack. Come see what America was founded for and bust a nutmeg. You'll be cumin in your pants from parsley, sage, rosemary. Sorry, guys, I put too much time into this. I posted a joke about Israel because it was funny. And this account trolled me. This account had a profile picture that was a Pokemon. So, you know he's legit. And Pikachu said, criticizing Israel is anti-Semitic. To which I said, why? He said, because Israel is a Jewish state. And I said, well, did you know that Israel is 20% Arab? So can't I 20% criticize Israel? Also, last time I checked, I'm an American, which means I can criticize any country I want. Yes. In fact, that's what we do best out here. We criticize countries we don't even know anything about. I think this is a basic human right that should be allowed across the world, that people should be able to freely criticize any country that they don't agree with the actions of. This is as simple as it gets. I don't see why there should be any disagreement. Do you guys remember in 2022 when Iran cracked down on its people after the massive protests? Can we all agree that that was an oppressive act by Iran's government and that was horrible and we should condemn that? We can all agree that, right? We can all agree. See, that's Islamophobic, okay? Because Iran is a Muslim country. Do you see how that's silly? That we can't just take the national religion of a country and use it to conflate criticizing a country with hate of that religion. That's so silly, okay? If we can freely criticize Iran, we can freely criticize Israel, okay? They're both countries in the Middle East. They both start with an I, okay? Sure, one's known for carpets, one's known for carpet bombing. I'm just saying, I can make that joke because it's only 20% of my set. I want to make it very clear. I'm against anti-Semitism. A lot of Palestinians are frustrated that we constantly have to prove that we are not anti-Semitic. Trust me, talk to any Palestinian, we've been asked 1,000 times. And I don't get frustrated. I actually love it. I love proving to people that I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm like, no, come here, I love you. Like, I'm here to love, okay? I get aroused just thinking about it. Actually, I get aroused thinking about how much I love Jewish people. I love the Semitics, as Trump would probably say. I love the Semitics. Yeah, I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm pro-Semitic. I support Semitism. Yes. You know how pro-Semitic I am? I'm so pro-Semitic that I am Semitic. Yeah, you didn't know? Arabs are Semitic too. You didn't know that, Pikachu? How can I be Semitic and anti-Semitic at the same time? Do I just equal to zero? What is some matter, antimatter? It's like calling a tomato anti-fruit. It's like, I'm fruit too. Yes, if you didn't know what Semitic means, Semitic refers to Semitic peoples. Semitic peoples are people who speak Semitic languages, and the three main Semitic languages are Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic. So unless you know Jesus Christ directly, the Semitic people that you know in your life are Arab and Jewish people. Those are your Semitic friends, okay? Check in on your Semitic friends. They're not doing too well right now, okay? So that's what Semitic means, Arab and Jewish people. Now, just to clarify here, the term anti-Semitism originally was created to speak about hatred towards both Arabs and Jews. It was actually created by a Jewish Austrian scholar in the late 1800s in reference to a French scholar who was saying that the Semitic races are inferior to the Aryan races. And so this Austrian scholar said, hey, that's anti-Semitic, created a word. And then the Germans somehow heard about this and they said, yes, we are that. And he's like, no, it's supposed to be a bad thing. And the Germans are like, yes, we are anti-Semites. And so the word anti-Semite and anti-Semitic was popularized by the Nazis in reference to hatred for the Jews, because that's who they hated. And so the word became popularized as hatred to Jews. And so that's how double racist the term anti-Semitic is, because it was intended to mean hatred towards all Semitic peoples, and it became popularized as only hatred for the Jews. So not only is it horrible because it's about hatred, but it also left out the Arabs. It's double racist. So I know that's a long history lesson, but I typed it all out in the YouTube comment to Pokemon. And he just responded, ... And so I said, in conclusion, yes, anti-Semitism is typically meant about hatred towards Jewish people, and we must condemn that, but also do note that Semitic people include Arab people. So in a sense, the term is also hateful to Arab and Jewish people. And Pikachu finally responds. He says, well, I don't hate Arabs and I don't hate Jews, I just hate you. Well, the truth comes out, I see. I'm like, well, I can live with that. I can live with that. But just so you know, that is anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism. There's a genocide going on in Gaza, and if you're not entirely sure that it's a genocide, look up the definition of genocide. And if you still don't think it's a genocide, you don't understand how definitions work. The word genocide upsets a lot of people. People are like, no, it's not a genocide. And you're like, why? You're like, because it doesn't feel like a genocide. Oh, is that how we go by now? What you're feeling, it's a genocide. So much so that South Africa has tried to charge Israel with genocide. If South Africa goes after you for racism, you know you don't up. And they're making their case, but I think they could have been a little more aggressive. The only mistake I think South Africa made was they didn't hire Cat Williams as their prosecutor. And this motherfucker's fake, and this motherfucker's fake, and this motherfucker is an industry plant. Only some people saw the interview, that's fine. But yes, it's a genocide if you look up the definition. It's a genocide. I've heard a lot of people try to argue that it's not. Like, it's not a genocide because there's still Palestinians left. Like, what the f***? That's not how it works. The worst thing I heard was, oh, how is it a genocide if the Palestinian population keeps increasing? You're like, first of all, how do you know that? You're clearly tracking the population, which sounds like somebody who would commit genocide would do. This one guy was like, how is it a genocide if the Palestinian population has increased by 500% in the last 50 years? I'm like, okay, you're definitely trying to commit a genocide. You are tracking that population way too hard. But it's true. The Palestinian population has increased by 500% in the last 50 years. It's almost doubled in the last 20 years. Why? Because they're trying to counter a genocide by multiplying. That's how you do it. Take notes. Because Palestinians, they're using the one weapon they have. It's not rockets, it's not rocks, it's drive. You know what I mean? Palestinians are really good at procreating. I mean, like, really good, okay? I mean, like, really good. Trust me, like, really good. From the river to the sea, we be It's not funny to you, but it's funny to me.
Who's laughing? Anybody's laughing?
Why it's bullshit is like not funny.
Wait, but you're not making it funnier either.
I've been doing stand-up for 17 years now. Hitting 17 years this year. Yeah, I told this to my friend. He's like, damn, 17 years, why aren't you famous? I'm like, well, it's a choice, obviously. This was my 17-year plan. To be headlining the Bass. I'll go ahead and cut to the chase. I'm Palestinian American. I'm openly Palestinian. I was closeted for 30 years, and I came out a few years ago with Bella Hadid. I don't know if you guys watch the news at all. This whole political stuff's not working too well. This guy likes it, so I'm gonna keep going. Thank you, brother. Yeah, thank you. Where are you from, by the way? Doesn't matter. That's the spirit right there.
Just bring it.
No, I have to talk about this. I'm recording it. I know, like, when I perform for general audiences, I have to feel them out first. But I still have about 10 more minutes on it. Because growing up Palestinian meant we didn't have the best PR. We never had good PR in this country. They would always portray us as terrorists. It was f***ed up. So I had to tell people, hey, I'm a proud Palestinian, okay? This is what a proud Palestinian... I'm sorry I'm yelling. I'm a proud Palestinian. This is what a proud Palestinian looks like, okay? And I'm very friendly.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm extremely friendly. I put the pal in Palestinian, all right? Does anybody here actually have a Palestinian friend? They're good friends. They're good friends. They're good friends. And very loyal, okay? And fun to hang out with, too. You want to play catch? Great throwing arm. You know what I mean? Great. Good friends. We'll remember your birthday. We don't forget things that happened 75 years ago. Yeah, this is, now I'm actually discovering you're not only not into the subject, you're against what I'm saying. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Hey, there's no reason to get tense, okay? This is actually a good opportunity for growth for both of us, okay?
Well, do you support the two-state solution? Hamas does not.
I'm not, but I'm not, okay. Hey, this is not the time to leave, guys. This is the time to stay and see what happens. Okay? The people who are leaving, you're the people who are not helping. We're trying to work out a peace agreement in real time. Now, of course, I'm not Hamas, okay? At the end of the day, you have 6 million Jewish people there. You have 6 million Palestinians there. There has to be a way to figure this out without a genocide. Okay? That's my position. Thank you. Okay? The word genocide, it troubles a lot of people. And trust me, I've posted about this. I said the word genocide, and people would direct message me and be like, hey, I don't think it's a genocide. And I'd be like, why? They're like, I don't feel like it's a genocide. Okay, we're going by your feeling now. That's how it's like, why didn't you comment this on my page? Like, you didn't, instead of, you genocide into my DMs. But the point is, people get very tense about the word, but we can all agree that genocide is mass harm inflicted onto a population. We all know that's what genocide is in some shape or form, okay?
That's not what genocide is. That's not that.
Okay. It's a very broad definition. Okay, then go, please, then go ahead.
Would you please go to the f***ing jokes because...
Yeah, go back
Sex
to the
jokes! Sex jokes!
Because you come from this narrow, very biased thing. It's boring.
It doesn't
Actually, first of all, I was booked by a friend, so I cannot.
We're not
Okay, make some noise if you think this is extremely as boring as this gentleman thinks it is. Okay, so you are completely bored by the stuff.
I started on the other side, but we agree on the...
Come shake my hand, sir. Come shake my hand, sir. Watch this. We have two different places. We are literally working a solution out in real time. Do you think that's boring? Because you know what? You're right. Because you know what is boring? World peace is extremely boring. Because once world peace, we'll have nothing to fight about. It's extremely boring.
You simplify
It's a complicated.
boring. The way you're presenting it. You want to complicate it.
Okay, most people do not agree with you in this room, so let's take that as an indicator. Okay, so you also find it boring. You find this topic boring.
I would find it boring. I would say this biased bullshit is like not funny.
I am biased. Yes, I am biased. Your view is biased, right? Did anybody think anything I was saying tonight was funny? The porn stuff was funny. Okay? Did anybody find any part of the Palestine stuff funny? Just be honest with me. Okay. That is the majority of the room. Okay? So let's be honest here. Because I am biased and you are biased, but we also must acknowledge facts. Okay? So, I'm presenting my biased view, and yes, I'm inserting into humor. That's what comedy is. It's a narrative experience. It's not about your experience, it's about my experience. It's not funny to you, but it's funny to...
Who's laughing? Anybody's laughing?
In your defense, there's a lot of people who do not find it funny here. I can hear that. If the whole room was laughing, I would be like, yeah, dude, Palestine's free. Yes.
That term itself implies a lack of Israel.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
So this is, and I know you left for part of my shtick, okay? No, it does not.
Absolutely.
You're not making it funnier either.
Okay, yes, okay. Thank you so much.
The United States has never applied genocide to decimation of Native Americans in this country. Millions of Native Americans have been genocided in this nation.
See, this is what you
You
get.
need to understand the broader concept of genocide and how it applies.
We will finish this show on a high note. Trust me. Okay, remember, I'm not a politician, I'm an artist. And sometimes art can make you angry. Sometimes art can make you angry. Sometimes it can make you upset. Sometimes it can make you bored. Okay? That's not how I'm going to end this show. Point is that we're here, okay, and we believe in peace. We believe. You have to believe in it. You have to believe in it. Okay?
Colonial powers do not get to define genocide.
Yes.
Let's start
I
there.
could be doing that. I could be saying that. Okay. Now, let's dial it back. Obviously, you and I agree, right? That was the first thing we said. You and I were like two peas in a hummus pot, right? Okay. That's a two-piece solution. We're trying to make peace. We're trying to make peace. Okay. It's a different two-piece. A two-piece. Yes. You're coming on the road with me. People get upset about. Listen. I have a whole bit how I say Jesus was Palestinian. People get very upset by this. It's a bit that I like doing because it makes people upset. When I know contextually, Jesus was Jewish. He was born in Judea, in Bethlehem, which is currently in Palestine. By the same logic, if someone's born in the United States 2,000 years ago, we call them Native American. By that logic, Jesus, native Palestinian, was ethnically Jewish, born in Judea. Jesus was a Jewish Palestinian. He was a solution to the Middle East in one person. Okay? Right? And we know this. We know Jesus was Jewish because he didn't celebrate the Christian holidays, right? Right? Didn't do Christmas, right? For sure didn't like Easter. Did not like that one. Every Christmas Eve, you catch him at a Chinese restaurant. He was a nice, young Jewish man. Right? That's funny. Right? And we know he was Palestinian because he broke out of a cave in a matter of 3 days. That requires a tunnel. We know these things. Okay? Jesus was Jewish, Palestinian, and probably black. He was probably black. You could have gone to any college he wanted. Anyways, I have one more to say on the subject. Come to my show. Come to my show for more boring, biased bullshit, which I do extremely well. Okay. Let's bring it back home and talk about the 2024 election. Reunite everybody really quick. We got a good one coming up. We got the two best candidates ever in history, and you better respect that. Thank you so much. Is there anything I didn't talk about tonight you'd like for me to talk about?
Weed. Prime numbers.
Weed and prime numbers. Let's go, dude. Two of my favorite things, man. So, first of all, we're in Oklahoma. You guys have good weed here? I'm like, nobody would ever guess that. Honestly, you go to Texas, it's illegal, right? You go to Kansas, it's illegal in Kansas, right? Okay, whatever. Go to Kansas, it's illegal, but then you come to Oklahoma, you just get cooked, dude. It's listen, I know a lot of people that, it's haram, whatever. No, I've been smoking weed for as long as I can remember, which is not that long because it affects the memory, but I get a lot of people don't like it. But I never hear great reasons on why people don't smoke weed. It's like people can't take accountability for stuff. Like, how come every time I smoke weed, it makes me depressed? Like, that's not the weed, that's you. You know what I mean? Like, you were already depressed and the weed made you aware that you're depressed and you don't like being aware of things. Or how come every time I smoke weed, it makes me lazy? Because you smoked an indica and went to the gym, you moron.
Indica couch, okay? Sativa is the one you smoke at your job, all right? They have a saying for that. Smoke sativa, you will achieve it. And they know hybrids are chill, you know. Or, you know, every time I smoke weed, it makes me stupid. Like, that's not the weed. You know? Respectfully, it's not the weed, you know. And you're not using it the right way. Like, try getting high and reading a book, okay? Yeah, I know you're like, why would I waste a high on a book? Like, no, that'll be the hardest book you ever read, okay? If you can read a book high, you can climb Everest. I'm telling you, you can do a lot of things. You know, put your mind to it. But yeah, actually, I have an interesting backstory because I studied applied math in college. That's why I do stand-up. And I got a 4.20 GPA, actually, believe it or not. And 420, yeah, man, yeah. And believe it or not, I was like ahead of my class in college, and I was one of the only kids who smoked weed. I would like to argue that it helped me with geometry because there's a lot of spatial. And listen, I'll tell you a story. This was not even intentional, okay? In college, I had this professor, this Ukrainian professor. He was just so intense. Like, he would get pissed at us for like not learning. He's like, "You dumb Americans!" He would always say that. "You dumb Americans! You do not know. Back where I'm from, we do math. You die in the street." Like, whoa, that was just like it was like very real. And one day he came in and he wrote this crazy problem on the board. I was like, oh yeah, this is my chance to be Goodwill Hunting, right? And he's like, if you solve this, you don't have to take the final. I had quit smoking weed. I had smoked weed previously and I had quit. I was like, I'm done smoking weed. I'm going the sober route. I'm, do it the normal way, whatever. And I was like, I'm done with weed, no weed. And that happened. I quit like 2 weeks prior to this. And then I look at that problem. I'm like, oh, this is like very stressful, whatever. And I go to the library and I'm like trying to dig into this problem. It's like this crazy thing with like triangles and squares and like Pythagoras, like what's up? Just like a crazy problem. And then I'm like, I give up. I just gave up. I went home defeated and I was like so tired and hungry from the day. And I saw that my roommate had made brownies, and so I was like, okay, well, I'll have a brownie. And there was enough so I could take some and he wouldn't notice. So I took 5. And after about 10 minutes, I was like, oh, because my roommate came home and he had bloodshot eyes. He's like, do you have brownies? I was like, oh, because for him, I was like, why am I having so much fun? You know what I mean? I don't remember the rest of the night. Like, I have visions of like triangles and squares and like Pythagoras, like, what's up? But I kid you not, I somehow woke up the next morning with a finished paper. Because that math to me was just like so natural. So I don't know what I did, but I turned it in the next morning. I brought it to the professor, and he was like looking at it, and he'd always go over people's answers in front of everybody, so it was like public shame. So he was like, okay, Chelsea, wrong. Thomas, wrong. And then he was like, Sammy. Holy shit. He got it right. And then all the kids were like, how did you do that? And I was like, I don't recommend weed for everybody. It's just not for everybody, but somehow it worked for me. But I love prime numbers.
Your THC level needs to be a prime number.
It needs my THC. I only do THC in primes. Yeah. Whenever I pick up a weed and like the CBD level is like, 2.6, I'm like, no. I'm actually that's actually my next goal is prime numbers are. You guys know what prime numbers are? They're numbers not divisible by anything else except themselves in one, right? And there's this giant problem in mathematics they're trying to solve is like, how can you determine when the next prime number comes? Because there's no actual predictive model for it, but there's a theory that there is such a function that determines it. It's called the zeta function. And there's like mathematicians are out there just like scrambling to do it. Now, if your Oklahoma weed is good enough, I might be able to solve it here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. to go along your list of many historical achievements. Let's not mention them. But what else? Women? I said, give me something that I know a lot about.
Cats.
Women and cats. And what? Women, cats, and organic. This is actually, I think this is, no, it's not. Organic is a pronunciation that I decided because I like to eat organic, but I don't like telling people that because when you tell people you eat organic, they think that you think you're better than them, which I do, but I don't want people to think that I think that. So I smooth it out. I give it like an ethnic pronunciation. I say organic. It just smooths it out, and it's a lot more fun, you know. Try it. Like go into a grocery store, like be like, "Are these avocados organic?" They'll be like, "I think you mean organic." You say, "No, organic." They're like, "Okay, whatever." Customer's always right. You could even go further. So they have no cholesterol. You know, like just make up your own words. And I released a whole special called Organic, so you can actually find it on YouTube. It's there for free. Now let's talk about women. Women. What about them?
They're like cats.
The women like cats?
They are like
cats. I've heard both theories. Women are like cats, men are like dogs, and then vice versa. Men are like cats, women are like dogs. I think we're all like mouses, to be honest. Like, just like scared little creatures. But yeah, you know, women are cool. Women are cool. I know a few. I used to be inside of one like the whole time. I was like, not like that, you fucking assholes, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you mean I was, part of me was inside of a woman like for a long time, like for 9 months. Like, when I came out, like I was 100%. I had lived my life inside of a woman for 100% of the time. I was a expert on women for 9 months. Basically, was a woman. I basically was a woman. Yeah. Y'all can claim, like, don't claim our identity. Like, no, motherfucker, I was in a woman's body for 9 months. I was a fucking woman, dude. And there was a point where I was just, the chromosome, what is it, like the first, is it a couple weeks, we're all women or something like that. And then if a male starts to develop male parts. So, like, for sure in those first whatever weeks, I was like full-blown woman, okay? So as a woman, why are these ladies so crazy? Come on! And I love cats too. I love cats. I was never inside of one though. I was never inside of a cat. No. Cat people make some noise. Dog people make some noise. We see who's winning. Cat people, if there's a fight, we're f***ed. Yeah, we could use our paws. What do we got? Dog people are aggressive. Dog people are fearless too because you have backup. Your dog. Who do we got? Someone who just gives a fuck when we feed them and that's it? If there's a war going on, y'all can bring your dogs. We cannot bring our pet. We will lose the battle. What else?
Kanye and Taylor.
There's a lot of things. Wait, what was the back one of them?
Comedy skills you learned as a teacher.
Oh, comedy skills. I like that. And then what was over here?
I said Kanye and Taylor.
Kanye and Taylor. Oh, that old story. And then there was something over here. Assad. Okay, great. What a combination. Well, as a teacher, I learned to deal with difficult subjects. So hopefully, I should be able to take this on. Trying to think of Assad's just like Kanye. Someone. You still listen to his stuff sometimes, but shut up. No, how do you not know I have Assad's first mixtape, dude? No. Don't hate on Assad. Don't be an Assad basher. I don't like Assad. He's done. He's cooked. Carne asada, brother. He's done. He's done. He fled to Russia. That's how bad it is, dude. When your last safe space is Russia, that's how you know you've burnt some bridges. But I'll tell you who's not done. Taylor Swift and Kanye West. They're still out there. I'm not a Swiftie. I mean, I never was a Swiftie anyways, but I don't like that she didn't use her platform for Gaza. Like, I feel like she could have done like just even like the most basic, like Weeknd donated money, like SZA gave shout outs at her concert, like just the most basic, and we will appreciate it, you know. But she didn't even do that, and you know. Kanye West, I'm glad that he stays silent because I don't think that would have done it. So it's like, you know, we need some people to talk and we need some people to not talk. You know? But yeah, remember the time that Kanye West grabbed the mic from Taylor Swift? Yeah. What year was that? 2009. It seems like it was. Yes, we're old, huh? We're some old out here. That's crazy, yeah. And that was his second mic grab, too. That guy was just grabbing. He grabbed the mic from Mike Myers to say George Bush doesn't care about black people. That was just, and then that one went well, and he's like, I'm going to do it again. And he grabbed it. And now people, like, whenever they're around Kanye, they just hold the mic like this. Just, if I ever did a show and he's nearby, I'd just be like... What else? Anything else?
Do you know about the Tulsa Kaiser situation?
Tulsa Kaiser.
So we have a billionaire who funds a lot of what goes on in Tulsa as far as our recreational activities, but also helping to develop kind of like we're a Sims game.
Okay.
And what's really interesting about it, because I come from the native perspective of
yeah.
things, is that he has a program called Tulsa Remote where they pay for people to come in from all over the country. And they give them $10,000 towards.
Wait a second. You're saying he's flying people into Tulsa for $10,000? Did you know about what?
Nobody has realized it's a settlement program. I'm sorry.
Whoa. Okay. Well, yeah. I didn't know. I guess I worked out a different deal with the club, but. What's his name?
Daddy Kaiser.
Daddy Kaiser? Ooh, Daddy. Do you like him?
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
I'm native.
But you called him Daddy. Oh, you're native. Okay. So he's a billionaire. He's developing, playing us like we're the Sims game. He's flying people out for $10,000.
No, they're not flying people out. They're having them.
Oh, they don't pay for the flight.
To a program where they can relocate here and.
Oh, so you can live here. You can live here, and you can. Oh, you didn't tell me you got to live here. No, I'm good. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it would take a lot more. But that's cool. And then so he's really, you know, to kind of build. His son served in the IDF.
So we're essentially being settled as Tulsa citizens.
Oh,
because a lot of our property value has gone up as a result of people moving in from California and other.
Well, don't on California. I mean, that's not that bad of a state. But he's basically, I'm guessing he's like looking for people in like certain professions to kind of like add entrepreneurs and to make you guys like the next Silicon Valley.
Fancy folk.
The fancy folk. Globalists. We don't like them. I get that. That's f***ed up. He's settling. He's settling the land of Tulsa.
Don't settle for less.
Don't settle for less. Is that the motto of the Tulsa? It's, don't settle. Don't settle for more. That's the city motto. Don't settle for more, Tulsa. Don't settle for more settlers. Don't settle more. So Daddy Kaiser, okay, he is I'm assuming the richest person in Tulsa. Does he live in Tulsa? Lives in Tulsa.
Yes. The other foundation, Schusterman are pretty big, and they're pretty into supporting the apartheid regime as well.
Oh, okay. So there's two sides of the same apartheid. So another billionaire?
Yep.
Dude. Yeah, I was going to say, it's like, you know, you would think there's not a lot of billionaires in this world, so you guys shouldn't even have one. No offense. No offense, but it's like, you know, how many billionaires are there? You've already mentioned two in Tulsa. Like, that's a lot. And there's more too. Oil? Well, you guys got oil.
Yeah, have you not heard about Osage?
Oh, you got that oil. Well, let me call up my friends in ISIS. Let's stage a little coup. So maybe I will move here for that. Don't be. I'll take that. Take that 10,000, invest in the oil market. Get a little something. But I just got to marry native. Or if I marry native, I'm what?
You have to get the head rights.
You're gonna hook me up.
Or if I marry.
That's a whole movie.
Hold on. Oh, there's a movie. Oh shit! I didn't watch. What's the movie?
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Taylors of the Flower Moon. Oh, Taylor Swift. Taylors of the Flower Moon.
Yes.
Killers. Ooh.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio was in it?
Yeah.
Why did I miss that one? You sure it wasn't called Titanic? You sure it wasn't The Revenant? So Leo was in a movie where he married a native?
A native woman, yes.
And then he got what?
He poisoned the entire family
He
to get
poisoned.
the head rights.
Oh, to get the head rights. He poisoned the family. Oh, based on a real story. Based on a true story. God, Leo. Yeah, see, Leo always has to play like the worst people. A brave actor that is. In that movie, he married a girl, right? She was over 25 or.
Unclear. Don't ask, don't tell.
Cool. Well, I'll look into it. All right, let's take one last suggestion.
Tulsa got our first black mayor last Monday.
Tulsa got its first black mayor last Monday. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Wow. Took you that long, huh? Wow. Jeez. You have the first black stock market, or the only black stock, the only Black Wall Street, the only Black Wall Street, and then 100 years later, you get a black mayor. Wow, thanks, Leo DiCaprio. Well, how's the mayor? Do you like them? Okay, yeah, good. How's their relationship with the billionaire families? Could be a little better. Oh, it's tumultuous. They're a better
relationship with the tribes.
Better relationship with the tribes than with the billionaires. Let's go, dude. Look at you, Tulsa. Look at you going on principle over money. I like it. Did she move out here too? Got 10,000 too, or what? The mayor? Did they move out here? Did they get 10,000? He's local.
No, he's from Houston.
He's from Houston, so he got $10,000. But he went from oil to oil. You know what I mean? Oil to oil. Okay. Well, yeah. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. What's that? You're welcome. I'm gonna wish you guys all the luck. All the luck in the world. You need luck in Tulsa. You need luck in Tulsa, because don't you guys have like tornadoes? You need luck in Tulsa. You know? Don't settle for more. What's that?
Lock in Chicago is probably when we're dead, right?
The what Chicago?
Chicago's more deadly than Tulsa, right?
Oh, like in terms of like gun violence?
Tornado violence.
Oh, tornado violence. Chicago has worse tornadoes. So you guys, tornado violence is the thing. I like it. Tornado violence has gone down 30%. Tornado homicides. One of my friends took his life by tornado, actually. It's very sad. Plot twister. All right.